The Mustangs starting lineup being introduced. It'll be sophomore Fernando Marquez along with senior guard Jacob Ortega, senior guard David Sadinana, senior center Nick Norris, and senior forward Caden Edson. Meanwhile, for Sterling, their leading scorer is senior Axel Henry, along with a big man, junior Tucker Myers, senior Brock Schala, the starting quarterback on the state championship football team out of Class 2A. Sterling playing in 3A in basketball. Sophomore Jackson Kyle, he's the second leading scorer, and senior Dylan Anderson. For head coach Mike Holloway, who's been a standout head coach, he's won state championships in 2 different classifications, as most recently as 2 years ago in 3A. Fort Morgan Mustangs are coached by Andy Schoen. Opening tip is brought to you by Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance. Things happen in life. Make sure you're prepared with the right insurance coverage. Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance in Brush and Fort Morgan. Tucker Myers jump center for Sterling, and Nick Norris for Fort Morgan. Mustangs playing their first game in 10 days, and the tip is controlled by Sterling. Here is Axel Henry, the talented guard, dribbling at the top on the outside right, feeds it to Kyle. Back on the high left to Anderson, straight away. Here is Kyle into the lane at the free throw line, back out to Henry. Henry on the high right to Anderson, straight away. Now to Kyle, long three is up and off the back of the rim. But the ball is rebounded by Sterling and kept alive by Brock Schala. They reset. Henry at the top here to Kyle. Kyle at the free throw line, back out on the outside right to Henry. Henry right at the free throw line, spinning on Marquez. Straight away, here is Brock Schala. His three is up and in. Straight away for Brock Schala. Sterling scores on their second possession since they got the offensive rebound. Coming the other way, in the left corner is Edson, back out to Ortega. Swings it right side to Sadinana. Now to Jacob Ortega on the high left. In the corner for Edson, looking down low, but Norris is really teamed up there. They're in a 2-3, it looks like, for Sterling. Straight away is Sadinana with a basketball, dribbling to his right against Axel Henry. Swings it cross court to Ortega, left of the lane. Kicks it back out to Marquez. Marquez at the top, feeds it back out to Edson. Bounce pass down low for Norris. Turns, shoots, and misses. Too strong. And the rebound is into the hands of Tucker Myers of Sterling. Here's the outlet to Henry. 3-0 Sterling. Dribbles into the lane, then he's fouled. That's a touch foul by Fernando Marquez. First foul committed by either side. Sterling basketball, 3/4 court. On the far side, here's Jackson Kyle off the inbounds pass, guarded by Edson. Swings it left side to Anderson, straight away. Here is Brock Schala. Schala, left-handed dribble into the lane. Jump pass, left corner. Anderson, three, is off the back of the rim, but the ball is rebounded by Jackson Kyle. Here's Henry. Back out in the right corner. Schala fakes, steps in, 15-footer, yes. Brock Schala leads 5-0. He's doing it all by himself for Sterling. Jacob Ortega in the backcourt for Fort Morgan. Sadinana to Norris. Right corner, three by Marquez is off the mark. But the ball is rebounded by Edson. They kick it back out, the three by Ortega's in. Jacob Ortega scores for Fort Morgan. Mustangs down 5-3, under 6 to go in the opening quarter. Minute quarters, of course, in high school basketball. Here's Jackson Kyle on the bounce pass on the outside right to Myers. Here's Axel Henry. Straight away to Kyle, right of the lane. Jump pass, right corner. Three is up, and that's going to be off the back of the rim, but the rebound by Sterling Schala. He hooks and he misses, but he's fouled. I'm telling you, Fort Morgan's done an awful job on the boards in the early going. The foul's committed by Sadinana. That's 3 offensive rebounds already for Sterling. And Brock Schala to the stripe. Looking to make it 6-3, and the free throw is short. Fill up your cooler, gas up your car. Stubbs Gas and Oil, easy and convenient. Make them the only stop you need your way into the big game. That's Stubbs Gas and Oil. Second free throw coming up for Schala. And that is up and that is in. Sterling 6, Fort Morgan 3. 5:43 to go in the first quarter from Fort Morgan. Across the timeline, Ortega now to Norris. Left corner pass to Edson. Bounce pass back out to Ortega. Jump pass to Edson. Left corner, three is up, and that's an air ball. Norris has got it, and he banks, and he scores. Nick Norris has got that size at 6'4". An easy bucket for Norris at 6-5 Sterling. 5:21 to go in the opening quarter. Jump pass over to Tucker Myers just beyond the timeline. Straight away, here is Brock Schala. Right side Kyle, right wing three. That's off the right side of the rim, but another offensive rebound. Grabbed by Anderson, and then his shot is rejected by Nick Norris out of bounds. Sterling retains possession. Man, Fort Morgan's got to do something about getting rebounds. At least defensive rebounds. Kyle to throw it in. Kyle still looking. Lobs it at the top for Shala, guarded by Sadinana. On the high right, chest pass to Henry. He'll pull up for a three. Good. Axel Henry with a triple. Sterling 9, Fort Morgan 5. 4:56 to go in the first. Sadinana, bounce pass, poked out of bounds by Brock Shala into the Sterling bench. And the Mustangs retain possession. Ortega gets it into Sadinana. Sadinana straight away with a basketball. Sadinana picks up the dribble, swings it left side to Edson. Edson against Kyle, dribbles at the free throw line, hands it off to Marquez. 15-foot pull-up is off the back of the rim. Norris goes high for the rebound, banks, and scores, and a foul. Nick Norris muscling to the rack. And he goes to the line for the and one. Dylan Anderson commits the foul for Sterling. This is where Nick Norris can dominate. Tucker Myers is the tallest Tiger out there at 6'3". Nick Norris, top football player for Fort Morgan. The free throw is in. He's got 5 points, and the Mustangs are down by 1. 9-8, 4:37 to go in the opening quarter. Henry in the backcourt. Swings it back out to Tucker Myers, now to Henry, still in the backcourt. Jump pass to Kyle, now into the front court to Myers. Here's Shala, left corner now to Henry, straight away to Kyle, dribbles to his right. Now to Henry, fakes the three, thinks about the three, dribbles into the free throw line, back out to Tucker Myers. Left wing Shala, long three, good. Holy Mahunga, Shala has got 9 points. Sterling 12, Fort Morgan 8. 4:08 to go. First quarter. Here's the lob. That's a terrible pass by Sadinana. Poked away. Intercepted by Sterling. Left corner. Henry wide open three. Off the back of the rim. But another offensive rebound. Jackson Kyle grabs it down low. The pass to Shala, and he banks and scores. And the Mustangs fell asleep on the back end. Shala's got 11. He's outscoring Fort Morgan by himself. It's 14-8 Sterling. 3:45 to go. Sadinana then loses the ball again. Here comes Sterling the other way. Kyle lays it up, and he missed it. And the ball is loose. It's taken by Henry. Henry of Sterling. Shala, right corner three, and he missed that one. And the Mustangs finally grab a rebound. It's taken away by Jacob Ortega. They needed that one badly. And we get a whistle and a foul in the front court committed by Jackson Kyle of Sterling. And the Mustangs make some substitutions. It'll be Nick Beltran and Braden Fajardo in for Sadinana and Jacob Ortega. Two underclassmen, Fajardo a sophomore and Beltran a junior, with 3:28 to go. In the opening quarter, Sterling 14, Fort Morgan 8. Beltran dribbles towards the top against Henry, between the legs, looking to his left, maintains the dribble. Swings it left side to Edson. Left corner, here is Marquez, left of the lane, back out straight away to Edson. Edson nearly lost control, gets it to Fajardo in the lane. He leans, he shoots, and he misses from 10 feet away. The ball is tipped into the hands of Axel Henry of Sterling. 3:05 to go in the first. Sterling leads by 6. Henry at the free throw line, back out to Kyle, fakes the three, and he traveled. First turnover for Sterling. And the Tigers will make their first substitution with Dylan Diorio. He replaces Jackson Kyle. And the Mustangs will come the other way. Norris, Fajardo, Marquez, Edson, and the ball handler Nick Beltran. Beltran in the high right, straight away to Edson. Edson looking for Marquez, swings it right side to Fajardo, bounce pass for Norris, dribbles, turns, shoots, misses, partially blocked, he gets it back, and then stripped away by Myers. So Myers comes away with the basketball. Here is Axel Henry. Henry on the high left in the corner now, back out to Anderson, straight away. Here's Shala, he faked the three, and is that going to be a offensive foul, an illegal screen on Tucker Myers. That'll count as a turnover. That's the second for Sterling. Approaching the 2.5 mark, 2.5 minute mark, that is, in the first quarter. And Sterling is holding on to this 14-8 lead. And here's Nick Beltran the other way on the high right for Morgan. Beltran against Henry. Beltran between his legs at the free throw line. 15-footer is short. And the ball is poked around into the hands of Ryan Wecker, who checks into the game. On the outside left, Henry, left of the lane all the way. Has the shot blocked, but a foul on Nick Norris. And to the line will be Axel Henry. Yeah, if not for Norris's 5 points and Ortega's 3, the Mustangs would be very thin here offensively so far. But it's been about Brock Schala. He's got 11 points, and the Henry free throw is in the air, and that is perfect. The lead is now 7. Edson and Norris are out. Cardona and Ortega, along with Beto Martinez, in for Fort Morgan, as the Mustangs are down by 7. This is the 4th consecutive Patriot League team that Fort Morgan has played. Second free throw is in. And is that going to count? No, I think there was a lane violation. Check it. Free throw does not count. Lane violation against Sterling, so the Mustangs have it down 7 with 2:14 to go in the first quarter, 15-8. Now Beltran at the controls against Dylan Diorio. At the top for Beto Martinez. Martinez right side for Fajardo at the top of the basketball. Right side to Beltran. Beltran cross court to Ortega. Ortega dribbles into the lane, straight away to Beltran. Beltran pulls up from 10, back rim, and it's no good. And the ball is rebounded by Dylan Anderson. Anderson kicks it back out to Henry. Under a minute 50 to go in the opening quarter. Sterling retains a 7-point lead. The Mustangs have gone cold on offense, and the high right is Diorio against Beltran. At the top, chest pass, back out to Axel Henry, fakes the three straight away. Anderson takes the three and makes the three. Dylan Anderson has given Sterling a 10-point lead with a minute 27 to go in the opening quarter. Ortega on the high right feeds it back out to Beltran. Beltran right of the lane to Cardona. Cardona is stripped. He's stripped over there by Ryan Wecker. The Mustangs commit their 3rd turnover. Here's Diorio on the outside right. That's a travel by Ryder McConnell just into the game. Both teams have now committed 3 turnovers. Jackson Kyle will check in. Yeah, the Sterling team won the state title 2 years ago, had a banner year last year. But Fort Morgan certainly an improved team this year. And offense has not been an issue in the first 3 games, but it is in this quarter. A minute 7 to go. Beltran on the high right, gets a screen, gets a pick, left of the lane, pulls up from 15. Good. Nick Beltran scores his first bucket of the game. Mustangs draw to within 8. It's 18-10, and nearly a steal in the backcourt, but it's saved over there by Sterling. Front court pass to Kyle, picked up by Ortega. Swings it at the top now for Diorio. Left corner, Anderson back out to Diorio. 45 seconds to go in the first. Cross court taken by McConnell. In the right corner to Kyle, guarded by Ortega. Behind the back, dribbling right baseline. Kicks it back out to Anderson inside the three-point line. Now back out straight away to Wecker with 32 seconds to go. Bounce pass down low. Kyle against Fajardo. Back out left wing. 3 is up and in, and that is Ryder McConnell. Man, Sterling has nailed 5 triples in the opening quarter. They lead by 11. 18 seconds to go. Beto Martinez in the front court. Back out to Beltran. On the high right to Fajardo, now to Beltran. Martinez with 11 seconds to go. Ortega, left corner 3. Yes! Jacob Ortega with a second triple of the opening quarter. Mustangs down by 8, 21-13. 3 seconds to go. 2 with 1. They're going to have to put it up from half court. Anderson does, and it's off the top of the backboard. We played 8 minutes of basketball in Fort Morgan. Sterling 21, Fort Morgan 13. It's a 1-minute break on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. The Mustangs have the basketball to begin the second quarter. I'm John Beltran. Sterling leads Fort Morgan 21-13. Edson, Beltran, Ortega, Norris, and Marquez for Fort Morgan. Beltran with the basketball at the top, swings it left side for Ortega, thinks about the 3, dribbles into the lane, right corner for Edson, dribbles into the lane, back out Ortega, right corner 3 is off the back of the rim, and the rebound into the hands of Dylan Diorio of Sterling. Long pass over to Ryder McConnell, back out to Schala. Here is Ryan Wecker. We basically set the lineup with a ball rotation now to Jackson Kyle. Kyle against Edson. Right corner now for Diorio. Diorio guarded closely over there by Beltran. Swing it straight away. Back out to Diorio off the feet from Ryan Wecker. In the right corner, Diorio against Beltran. Straight away to Wecker. Left wing, here's McConnell into the paint. Nearly traveled now straight away. Here is McConnell in the corner. Brock Schala all the way, leans, hooks it up and in, off the glass. Brock Schala drove and scored. He had 11 points in the opening quarter. He's got the first 2 of the second. Ortega the other way, hooks it up, and a foul as he misses. Sterling up by 10, 1 minute and 1 second into the second quarter. Axel Henry about to check back in for Sterling, and Jacob Ortega to the stripe. Well, the Mustangs got the offense going in the final minute of the first quarter. The Ortega free throws up and in, and Jacob has looked good here. with 7 of Fort Morgan's 14 points. Henry is in, McConnell is out. So the starting point guard for Sterling into the game, and the Mustangs are down by 9, 23-14. Second free throw, yes. Ortega now with 8. He leads Fort Morgan in that category, 23-15. It's an 8-point Sterling lead. Into the front court is Henry, picked up over there by Marquez. Back out near the timeline to Kyle. Mustangs back off a bit. Kyle bounce pass straight away. That's taken by Wecker. Down low for Kyle. Right baseline. Got it by Ortega. And then Ortega poked it out of bounds. Sterling retains possession with 1:20 into the second quarter. 6:40 to go before the break. Kyle to throw it in on the offensive end to the left of the basket. Kyle looking. Still looking. Left baseline back out to Wecker. Baseball pass back out to Henry. Henry straight away against Marquez. Left wing taken by Diorio. Straight away. 3 by Kyle off the back of the rim. And high for the rebound is Nick Norris. Norris grabbing his third rebound. The outlet to Marquez. Mustangs can cut it to 5 with a 3. Marquez pulls up, and there's an offensive foul. An illegal screen on Nick Norris. Yeah, he was moving. That's a good call. That's his second foul, and that's not good because here comes Adam Cardona. Nick Norris, who had 5 points in the opening quarter, has got to take a seat on the bench. Yeah, you can't commit turnovers against this team. They're just too good. Premier Farm Credit understands production ag and has been serving the rural communities for over 100 years in Sterling, Fort Morgan, Yuma, and Holyoke. Premier Farm Credit. Kyle just beyond the timeline on the high right corner. Back out to Myers. Here's Kyle, right wing 3. Yes. Boy, they can hit the threes. That's the 6th 3 of the game for Sterling. They're back up by 11, matching their biggest advantage under 6 to go before halftime. Ortega on the right wing to Marquez. Gets a pick, dribbles right of the lane, and there's a foul. That should be against Sterling. That would be the team's 5th foul. And that's committed by Axel Henry. Oh, no. They're going to say the other way. Check that. That's going to be on Cardona. Jeez. I didn't even see that one. All right, Henry into the front court to Kyle. Kyle right at the free throw line. Back out to Shala. Dribbles left baseline. Hooks it up and in. Man, this guy's unstoppable. Timeout. Fort Morgan, they need it. Down by 13 with 5:45 to go in the second quarter. Yeah, we'll keep it right here as the defense has taken a hit for the Mustangs as well. David Sadinana is going to check back in. Mustangs were down by 8 after 1. They've been outscored 7-2 in the first 2 minutes and 15 seconds of the quarter. And again, this Sterling team is one of the better ones, even though they're a 3A team and Fort Morgan is 4A. This is one of the better teams Fort Morgan will play all year. They are tradition-rich in Sterling when it comes to basketball, and they're showing that tonight. And even though Brock Shala is coming off a football season in which Sterling won the state title, doesn't look like he's rusty at all in the sport of basketball. He's got 15 points, matching Fort Morgan's total. Let's reset the lineup here for Fort Morgan. As Beltran will take a seat, it's Sadinana, Edson, Marquez, Cardona, and Ortega. But Fort Morgan needs some offense as well. And here comes David Sadinana in the backcourt to Ortega. Crossing the timeline, Sadinana's fouled by Shala. If they can get him into foul trouble, that would be nice. He bodied up Sadinana, first foul. Both teams have 5 team fouls. Yeah, they got to do something. They got to go on a run here. At least get to within single digits by halftime or no greater than 10. Sadinana for Fort Morgan, 5.5 to go before the break. Hands it off to Marquez. Cross court to Cardona on the high left. Near that corner to Ortega. Gets a pick, dribbles into the lane. Jump pass to Edson, right wing 3, and that is way off. In fact, it's an air ball. Brock Shala's got the basketball for Sterling. Shala straight away against Ortega. Left wing to Henry. Fakes the 3. Dribbles into the paint. Hooks it up and misses. And then grabs his own rebound and he's fouled. The Mustangs didn't block out at all. Well, that should be on the floor. That foul's on Cardona. Yeah, that's going to be underneath the basket to throw it in. Yeah, you miss, and the guard gets his own rebound. Cardona commits his second. The inbounds pass. Shala, left wing 3, and it's no good. But the rebound to Myers, and he hooks and he misses. But the rebound, nearly into the hands of a Tiger. The ball is loose, and it's controlled by Cardona. Mustangs nearly messed up on that one again. But they get the basketball. Ortega straight away to Edson. Hands it off to Fernando Marquez. All the way, scoops it up and in. The underhand scoop by Fernando Marquez, the leading scorer this season, finally gets on the board. Sterling 28, Fort Morgan 17. 4:35 to go. Second quarter. Henry straight away. Dribbles by Marquez. Jump pass. Left corner. Back out to Diorio. Cross court to Kyle. On the right wing to Tucker Myers. Straight away Diorio. Now here's Henry. Thinks about the three. Feeds it back out to Shala. On the right wing to Tucker Myers. Chest pass. On the high left to Kyle. Gets a pick. Dribbles right of the lane. Jump pass. Right corner Diorio. Sterling working the ball around beautifully. And the three by Shala's off to the left. And the ball is rebounded and a miss there. And Fort Morgan commits another foul as Henry, one of the smaller guys on the court, grabs the rebound. I think Cardona might have committed his third. And Jackson Langford about to check in for Fort Morgan. It is. Well, can't win basketball games getting beaten this badly on the boards. Free throws coming up here for Axel Henry. And that one's up, and that's in. It rattles home. He's got 5 points in the game. Dylan Anderson back in for Sterling. Langford replaces Cardona. Mobile banking on the go makes banking easier for you when you're on the go. Equitable Savings and Loan. Second free throw by Axel Henry is in the air, and that's off the back of the rim, and the rebound on the right baseline into the hands of Fernando Marquez. Across the timeline, hands it off to Ortega. Jacob with a crossover dribble, left of the lane, maintains the dribble. Ortega kicks it back out to Marquez. Marquez against Shala, backs up, long three is off to the left, but a foul underneath. And there was a push. And that push was against Tucker Myers of Sterling. Fort Morgan will inbounds the basketball. Myers with his second foul. Here comes Zach Busmente about to check in for Tucker Myers. That's a 16th foul for Sterling. The Mustangs have committed 7 with under 4 to go in the second quarter. Sterling 29, Fort Morgan 17. Marquez in the left corner for Ortega. Against Jackson Kyle. Gets a pick, dribbles left of the lane, straight away for Edson. Now left corner for Langford. Kicks it back out to Ortega. He takes the three. Yes! All right, Jacob Ortega's got the shooting touch. He's got 11. He's keeping Fort Morgan in the game. 29-20. In the right corner, Anderson back out to Kyle. Straight away, here's Axel Henry, guarded by Marquez. Chest pass, left wing. Over to Busmente. Overhead pass to Henry. Thinks about the three. Crossover dribble, left corner. Brock Shala triple. No good. And the rebound is grabbed by Jackson Langford of Fort Morgan. On the kick out, here's Ortega. Ortega pulls up another three, and that's way off. Axel Henry grabs a rebound for Sterling, his fourth. Henry with 3:09 to go in the second. Fort Morgan trails 29-20. Anderson straight away. Now to Kyle. Kyle on the outside left behind the three-point line. Over to Henry, straight away three, and that's off the back of the rim. But the long rebound, it's going to be grabbed by, is he out of bounds? Jackson Langford had it. I guess they're going to call him out of bounds with his right foot on the end line. And Sterling to throw it in. Shala to Henry, under 3 to go before the break. On the outside left in the corner with the basketball is Anderson, straight away for Kyle, guarded by Edson. Overhead pass to Axel Henry, swings it left side to Anderson. Here's Kyle against Edson. Entry pass to Shala, defender in the air, and he banks and scores. Shala by himself has got 17. Sterling back up by 11, 31-20, 2.5 to go. Second quarter in Fort Morgan. Sadinana over to Edson. Edson near the top of the three-point circle. He's got to kick it back out to Marquez just beyond the timeline. On the high right to Sadinana. In the right corner for Ortega. They won't let him score. And then his entry pass is intercepted. Fort Morgan commits their sixth turnover. Shala the other way between the legs. Back out here to Zach Busmente. Drops the basketball straight away now to Henry. To Shala. Fakes the three. Dribbles left baseline. And then he's hacked as he drove to the basket. Yeah, they can't stop this guy. And Jacob Ortega commits the foul. They're going to say it's a 1-and-1. It's on the floor. No double free throw situation here. Ortega with his first, so he's got to make the first to earn the second. But Shala's had a big first half. He's nearly scored as many points as Fort Morgan. It's 31-20. Brock Shala at the line with over 2 minutes to go in the opening half. And the free throw, and that's, I believe, is that a lane violation? Yep. Another lane violation against Sterling. So Fort Morgan basketball And Edson to throw it in. And to David Sadinana. Sadinana on the high right. Over to Edson. Hands it off to Marquez. Marquez dribbles towards the top, straight away to Ortega. On the left wing to Edson. Edson at the free throw line. Hands it off to Sadinana. Bounce pass inside for Langford, and he banks it in. Boy, a beautiful look there by Sadinana, and Langford scores. Fort Morgan to within single digits. 31-22, a minute 36 to go, second quarter. Henry straight away to Anderson. Jump pass, left wing to Kyle. Dribbles at the free throw line. Now to Henry. Left wing three. Yes. Axel Henry scores. He's got 8. The lead is a dozen. Ortega back out to Sadinana. Hands it off to Edson. Edson at the free throw line. That gets it back out to Marquez, and there's a touch foul. 1-and-1 situation. Kyle commits his first. Fernando scored 28 points in a victory over Eaton. He's been held to 2 here in the opening half. Dylan Diorio will check in for Sterling. Nick Beltran about to come in for Fort Morgan for David Sadinana. So Marquez with the front end of the 1-and-1. Yeah, let's see if we can get this to 10 points. That free throw's up, and it's in. He rattled it home. 34-23 Sterling. 77 seconds to go. And the opening half. Second free throw's coming up. Langford, Marquez, Edson, Beltran, and Ortega for Fort Morgan. The sophomore bends, shoots, connects. Sterling 34, Fort Morgan 24. A minute 14 to go before the break. Axel Henry on the outside left to Diorio. Left corner with the basketball now is Busmente. Right side to Anderson. Feeds it out to Henry. Guarded by Marquez. Dribbles right baseline. Wants to pull up for a jumper. Cannot. Back out to Diorio. Straight away. Anderson guarded by Beltran. Cross-court pass. Intercepted by Marquez. He'll lay it up and in. And the Mustangs take advantage of the turnover. Marquez has 6 all in the quarter. It's down to an 8-point game. 45 seconds to go, second quarter. Henry, chest pass, left wing, Diorio, straight away to Anderson. Right side to Busmente. Busmente picks up the dribble, hands it off to Henry. 35 seconds to go, right wing 3, and it's in and out. And the ball is tipped around. Edson has got it for Fort Morgan. Then the ball's loose on the floor, and he's tied up there with Ryder McConnell. Possession arrow Sterling. That's too bad. That's too bad because there were 2 Mustangs ahead of the field. It would have been an easy layup, but too much traffic there. Diorio throws it in. Left corner for Axel Henry. Penetrates, leans, banks, and scores. Axel Henry got by Marquez. A 10-point game. 19 seconds to go. Mustangs should look for the final shot here. Ortega with 15. Gets a pick from Marquez with 13. Beltran looks up at the clock. Beltran between the legs with 10, with 9. Kicks it back out. Marquez, 3, up. Good! Fernando Marquez off the assist from Beltran scores. 2 seconds to go with 1. A long 3 from about 75 feet is no good by McConnell. And Fort Morgan makes a nice comeback here late in the second quarter. It's a 3-minute break with a score. Sterling 36, Fort Morgan 29 on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Let's begin the second half where the Sterling boys basketball team leads Fort Morgan in Fort Morgan 36-29. Dylan Anderson, Tucker Myers, Axel Henry, Jackson Kyle, and Brock Schala with 17 first half points on the court for Sterling. Fort Morgan has the basketball with David Sadinana, Caden Edson, Fernando Marquez, Nick Norris, and Jacob Ortega, who scored 11 points in the opening half. Cannot go cold offensively with this talented Sterling team. Norris on the high left, hands it off to Ortega. He gets a pick, bounce pass down low for Norris, tipped away, gets it back, he leans, he turns, he shoots, and he misses. And the ball is wrestled away by Tucker Myers. Myers for Sterling, kicks it back out to Schala. Over to Myers, straight away, here's Jackson Kyle. Over to Henry, straight away, 3 in the air, yes. He's too good. He got the screen and he scored, he's got 13. The lead is double figures again, 39-29. Sadinana jump pass tipped away into the backcourt. Sadinana chases it down, and then he's fouled by Jackson Kyle, his second. Sadinana got a break there, needed a head fake or a ball fake. Edson to throw it in at midcourt. That's now 8 3-pointers in the game for Sterling. And that is a big, big weapon for them. Sadinana for Fort Morgan with the basketball. Back out to Edson on the left wing to Marquez. Lobs it down low and an awful pass. Intercepted by Tucker Myers. I mean, that pass was closer to Myers than to Norris. Sterling now looking to go up by 12, maybe 13. On the high right, Anderson feeds it right corner to Shala. Back out to Henry. Straight away to Myers. Left wing, Kyle can't take the three. Shala against Edson. Back out to Henry. Near that right corner, Myers kicks it back out. Anderson, three, good. Wow. They don't miss Dylan Anderson with his second three. That's the way they've begun the second half. A 7-point lead is now 13. Ortega is trapped, has the ball taken away. Here comes Sterling the other way. In the left corner, Shala. Straight away to Anderson. He takes the three, and it's short. And the rebound into the hands of Nick Norris. They needed that miss. It would have been a 16-point lead. Ortega right side to Sadinana. Back out to Ortega. Feeds it right side to Fernando Marquez. Marquez crosses over, leans, jump pass to Ortega. Offensive foul on Fernando Marquez. Second foul, and the Mustangs have been very sloppy in this quarter. We played a minute 46. They've committed 3 turnovers and have not scored a point. Kyle is out of the game, and Dylan Diorio's back in, and then Fort Morgan is in danger of getting blown out. They need to stave off the rally now by Sterling, which leads by a baker's dozen. Axel Henry will take it into the front court for Sterling. Swings it left side for Myers. Straight away, here's Shala. Off the chest pass, dribbles left of the lane, jump pass, left corner, Anderson, three is good. Timeout, Fort Morgan. Wow. 3 threes in the quarter to begin the second half for Sterling. Sterling 45, Fort Morgan 29, a 30-second break on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Fort Morgan trails Sterling 45-29. They've begun the second half on a 9-0 run. Edson to throw it in for Fort Morgan. No pressure in the backcourt, over to Sadinana. Sadinana, front court pass to Marquez, lobs it to Norris, bounce pass down low for Edson. He's got to kick it back out straight away to Sadinana. In the left corner for Ortega. Swings it back out to Edson. Over to Ortega, left corner three, no good. Ball is tipped around. Marquez tries to throw it off a Tiger and does, out of bounds. Nice play by Fernando Marquez. Fort Morgan retains possession. Yeah, now the difference in threes is 10 for Sterling and 4 for Fort Morgan. Not that this is a game of threes, but they've out-rebounded Fort Morgan. They've committed fewer turnovers. 9 for the Mustangs, 4 for the Tigers. Lob back out to Norris, now to Ortega. Right corner, here's Marquez. Now to Ortega straight away. Hands it off to Sadinana. Chest pass, right wing to Marquez. Again, Shala gets a pick from Norris. Right wing three, yes. Fernando Marquez hits his second triple. He's got 12. The Mustangs down by 13, 45-32. Henry the other way. Left corner, Anderson fakes the three. Back out to Shala. Straight away, here's Myers now in the right corner to Henry. Henry against Fernando Marquez with a left-handed dribble. In the left corner, here's Dylan Anderson, picked up by Ortega. Now to Shala, guarded closely by Edson. Henry straight away against Marquez. Jump pass, right corner, back out straight away now. Here is Brock Shala. Over to Myers. Henry now against Marquez, gets a pick. Marquez picks him up, back out to Shala. They're going to work this around swiftly for a shot here. They've taken about 40 seconds on this possession. A shot clock is coming to high school basketball at some point. We know that. Shala into the paint, jump pass, and we get a foul. The foul is committed by Caden Edson, his first. Yeah, shot clocks have been instituted in some states. It'll come to Colorado at some point. Henry straight away with the basketball against Marquez. Henry left-handed dribble into the lane all the way, hooks it up, and he's fouled as he misses. Norris might have committed the foul, and he did. That's his third. And Axel Henry to the stripe. Yeah, nobody likes to see any basketball where the ball is held for close to a minute. But, I mean, Sterling was working it around. It's not like they were stalling. Free throw by Henry is up, and that's good. Axel Henry with 14. Two players in double figures for Sterling. Shala's not scored in this quarter. He had 17 in the opening half with 4:26 to go. Second free throw, book it. 47-32 Sterling. When it comes to experience, Buildings by Design is the best in the business. Quality, commitment, and experience makes Buildings by Design the only choice when it comes to your next project. Buildings by Design. Norris at the top. Down low for Edson. Left wing for Sadinana. And then he throws the entry pass right into the hands of Dylan Anderson. Here is Shala. Left corner, long three. Yes. Shala with 20. Fort Morgan down by 18. And the Mustangs are going to make heavy substitutions here. They played poorly here in this third quarter. Sadinana crossing the timeline, jump pass to Norris. Norris right side to Ortega, fakes the three, dribbles right baseline, kicks it back out to Edson, right of the lane. Edson looking for Ortega, right wing three, good! Boy, Jacob Ortega's had a nice night. He's got 14 on 4 threes, but they're down by 15. 3:35 to go in the third, 50-35 Sterling. Shala gets a pick, entry pass for Myers, stripped by Ortega, fouled by Ortega. Jacob commits his second. Beltran, Cardona, and Fajardo are in for Sadinana, Ortega, and who else is out? Nick Norris. Well, they got to make a run now. With this, they've got their leading scorer on the bench, at least for this game. In the left corner, Henry, and that's going to be an offensive foul. An illegal screen set over there by Brock Shala. I believe that was on him. I thought I saw. Nope, they're going to say check that. Dylan Anderson. That's a turnover for Sterling. Beltran crossing midcourt between his legs. Lost it, but it's taken by Marquez. Bounce pass Beltran, right corner three. He really pulled the string. Way short. The rebound taken by Anderson. Into the front court, and a strip by Edson. He stripped Shala. Edson all the way, lays it up, and it's blocked! But Cardona has it for Fort Morgan. Cardona to Marquez, lays it up and in! And a foul! And Fernando to the line. That foul was committed by Dylan Anderson. And that's going to be his third. And Marquez has caught fire in this game. He's got 14. Jackson Kyle checks in. The Mustangs are to within 13 again. They were down by 18. They've scored the last 5 points of the game. Free throw by Marquez is up, and that is in, out, and in. Fernando now with 15 in the game. It's a 12-point lead for Sterling, under 3 to go in the third. Kyle left of the free throw line, back out to DiOrio. Jump pass straight away to Wecker. On the right side, here's Axel Henry. Trapped by Cardona, kicks it back out to Shala. Now Kyle dribbles left baseline all the way, scoops it up, and then he drove right by Fajardo as Kyle now has 5 points. Timeout Sterling with 2:47 to go, third quarter, and the Tigers up 52-38. We'll keep it right here. Like a good neighbor, Greg Mullen and his team are there at State Farm Insurance to make the insurance world easy for you. 842-4555. And Colorado Plains Medical Center's experienced physicians and highly trained staff make your hometown hospital the place for expert quality care. Colorado Plains Medical Center, helping communities thrive. Crystal clear ice at AC Ice, good for any drink. Any time of year you can pick up AC Ice at any local grocery or convenience store in Northeast Colorado today. AC Ice. As we approach the 8 o'clock hour, just shy of the 8 o'clock hour in Colorado, you are listening to Morgan County's B106. This is KPRB, Brush Fort Morgan. I'm John Beltran, also on the Eastern Plains Sports Network, with the Mustangs possessing the basketball down by 14. It's Edson, Beltran, Cardona, Fajardo, and Marquez for Fort Morgan. Here's Beltran across the timeline on the high right, picked up by Kyle. Beltran at the top, feeds it for Edson. Edson left of the lane, is going to have to kick it back out. Feeds it over to Fajardo. Fajardo right side, hands it off to Beltran. Beltran with a left-handed dribble. Beltran is fouled by Jackson Kyle. That'll be his third, and it's the team's fourth. 3/4 court in front of the Fort Morgan bench. Nick Beltran to throw it in. Well, you do have some offensive threats out there, especially Marquez. Beltran still looking. Somebody's got to get open. Does to Fajardo near the timeline. Fajardo between the legs to Beltran on the high left, holding the ball up high. Lobs it to Marquez into the lane. Jump pass. Was it tipped out of bounds? No, it was not. Marquez thought it was tipped on the pass towards Edson. Turnover Fort Morgan, their 5th of the quarter, the 11th of the game. They could have drawn to within 9 with a 3. Check that. Could have drawn to within 11. They're down by 14. 2:08 to go in the third on the high right. With the basketball is Ryan Wecker. Back out to Henry against Marquez. Straight away to Shala. Gets a pick. Pulls up. Misses the 3. And the rebound is into the hands of Fajardo. Here comes Nick Beltran. Baseball pass intercepted by Shala. The Mustangs turn it over again. Here is Shala all the way. Right corner pass over to Diorio. Straight away to Wecker. Cross-court pass intercepted by Marquez. Fernando lays it up and in. Coast to coast. Marquez with 8 in the quarter. 17 in the game. Fort Morgan to within a dozen. 90 seconds to go in the third. They were down by 7 at halftime. Shala straight away against Edson. Right side to Diorio. In the right corner to Wecker. Back out to Henry. Guarded by Marquez. Right of the lane. Right corner, here's Wecker, picks up the dribble, cross-court pass to Shala. Shala back out. Here is the 3, and that's up, and that's way off to the right. And that's missed by McConnell. The rebound to Fajardo. And then Fajardo throws it away, but a travel. The teams exchange turnovers. McConnell intercepted it, was on the floor, and then dragged his back foot. Well, Fort Morgan's got a shot to draw to within 10, maybe 9 here. With 1:11 to go in the third quarter, trailing 52-40. And Beltran to trigger it in. Near the top here for Fernando Marquez, holding the ball on his right hip. Swings it right side for Fajardo, gets a pick. Fajardo left side Beltran, and Beltran is fouled along the baseline. That'll be the 5th team foul, and that's committed by Ryder McConnell. Beltran to throw it in. 2 players in double figures for Fort Morgan, Ortega with 14 and Marquez. The sophomore was 17. There's the lob at the left corner to Cardona. Back out to Beltran. Beltran between his legs. Left of the lane. Pulls up. 10-footer. Yes! Nick Beltran scores again. Well, really just his second bucket. He's got 4. Shala all the way. Hooks it up and in. The Mustangs fell asleep defensively. And Shala now has 22 in the game. Here is Fajardo all the way. Banks and he misses back rim. Cardona with a rebound. He turns, he hooks, and scores, and a foul. The ball sat on the back of the rim and went down. AC to the stripe for the free throw, and the foul is committed by Ryan Wecker. Cardona with his first points. He can draw Fort Morgan to within 9, and he does. The free throw is good. Mustangs trail 54-45, 32 seconds to go. Third quarter, this could be final shot time for Sterling. Axel Henry looks over towards the sideline on the outside left. Diorio straight away for Shala. Back out to Axel Henry on the right wing to Wecker. Now with the basketball, Shala, 15 seconds to go. Diorio just beyond the timeline. Looks up at the clock with 11. With 10, dribbles to his right against Cardona with 8, picks up the dribble, lob free throw line, Shala, give and go to Axel Henry, and he banks it in on the back end of the basket. Fort Morgan's got to get up a shot quickly. A long 3, a partial block there as Marquez misses. That's a big bucket by Sterling to end the third quarter on a perfect possession. They outscore the Mustangs in the quarter 20-16 and lead Fort Morgan after 3, 56-45 on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Fort Morgan was down 50-32 and then went on a 13-4 run. Now they trail by 11 going to the fourth. A strong move. Shala misses, and the rebound to Nick Beltran to begin the fourth quarter. Beltran swings it left side for Ortega. Ortega with the basketball. It's 56-45 Fort Morgan basketball. Ortega in the left corner. Lobs it down low for Norris. Dribbles, but he's trapped over there. Kicks it back out to Ortega. Here's Beltran. Beltran at the top, hands it off to Marquez. Out there also with Caden Edson. Crossover dribble, left corner. Ortega, 3 in the air. Yes! Jacob Ortega with 17 in the game, his 5th trifecta. And the Mustangs are down by 8. 7:23 to go, 56-48. Here's Jackson Kyle against Marquez. Gets a pick between the legs at the top. Back out to Diorio. On the right side with the basketball is McConnell. Now here's Jackson Kyle against Marquez. At the free throw line, back out. Myers, wide open three, no good. And Jacob Ortega's got the rebound for Fort Morgan. On the outlet to Beltran. Beltran pulls up 15-footer, is no good. And the rebound is controlled by Brock Shala. That's his fifth board on the outlet. Here's Diorio straight away to Shala. Fakes the three, thinks about the three. On the left wing to Wecker. Now back out to Myers. On the right wing, here's Kyle. Shala, right corner, three, and he did it again. How does that guy do it? Shala now with 25 in the game. Sterling back up by double figures, 59-48. Axel Henry's in for Ryder McConnell. And here comes Beltran for Fort Morgan. Beltran across the timeline, feeds it left side to Edson. Edson on the high right to Beltran. Right corner for Ortega. Lost the ball. It's on the floor, and it's off the foot of Jackson Kyle out of bounds. Mustangs retain possession. And Dylan Anderson in for Brock Shala. Thank goodness for Fort Morgan. He's been too hot in this game. 17 of his 25 in the opening half. Ortega to throw it in for Beltran on the high right. Beltran feeds it straight away to Edson. Edson with the basketball, motioning the offense, dribbling to his right. Right side to Beltran. Beltran at the free throw line. Looking, hands it off to Marquez. Marquez then was fouled. He was bodied up over there by Axel Henry. That's his first. And that's the team 7, so the Mustangs will shoot free throws from here on out. 1-and-1 situation. Marquez at 8 points in the third. He's got 17 in the game. Fort Morgan plays on Friday against Sydney, and then we'll have the Saturday doubleheader in Brush against the Beatniggers. 5:30 for the girls, 7 o'clock for the boys Mountain Time. And the free throw by Marquez is up, and he missed it back rimmed. And the rebound is controlled over there by Jackson Kyle of Sterling. Straight away, Kyle takes the three, and he missed it off to the left. Ortega goes for the rebound and grabs it. Jacob Ortega with his third board. Crossing midcourt, Ortega at the top, into the lane, all the way, jump pass to Norris, dribbles, turns, shoots, and he missed it. But Norris tips it back out to Ortega. Ortega resets over to Beltran, lobs it down low for Norris. He turns, he kicks it back out to Ortega. Fakes the three, right side to Beltran. Beltran is called for traveling. Turnover number 14 for Fort Morgan. Now with 5:49 to go in the game, Sterling will call a timeout. 30-second timeout. We'll keep it right here in Fort Morgan. Mustangs have gotten into single digits but cannot get over the hump, and Sterling always seems to come through with a big bucket, which is why they were state champs 2 years ago in 3A. And then, even last year, I mean, this was in 18. Yeah, that would have been 3 seasons ago, because this will take us into the 2020 year. But in 17, they won the state title. In 18, they were state runner-ups. State semifinalists. Last year made the playoffs, but not as successful. But still a very, very, very solid squad out here. All right, let's reset for the Mustangs. Beltran, Ortega, Norris, Marquez, and Edson. Jackson, Kyle, Tucker, Myers, Dylan Anderson, Axel Henry, and Dylan Diorio for Sterling. Shala's on the bench, but he scored 25 in the game, and they lead by 11. 5:34 to go. Diorio straight away, chest pass, high right to Kyle, back out Henry. Fakes the three, left wing to Diorio, guarded by Ortega. Baseball pass to Myers, cross court, taken by Henry. He takes the three, and he misses off the back of the rim. Rebound to Caden Edson of Fort Morgan. Edson over to Ortega. Edson on the right side. Check that, Ortega. Jump pass down low for Norris. He banks and scores. Ortega with a beautiful feed to Nick Norris, who's got 7. Mustangs down by 9 again, 59-50, but they need a stop and a bucket to draw to within 7 or 6. Here's Axel Henry on the high left. Back out to Diorio. Near that right corner for Anderson. Guarded by Beltran. Straight away to Kyle. Axel Henry with a basketball. On the high left to Myers. Now here's Diorio. On the outside right, chest pass to Kyle. Now setting up the offense will be Tucker Myers on the left wing. On the high right, driving right baseline is Kyle, and he banks and he misses. And the rebound to Marquez. They can draw to within 7 or 6. Marquez right of the lane all the way, and he stripped out of bounds by Henry. Fort Morgan retains possession. And guess who's back in the game for Sterling? Brock Shala in for Dylan Diorio, but Fort Morgan will throw it in. Need a bucket here. You can't tease them every time and get to within 9 and then not score and then have Sterling score. 4.5 to go in the game. Marquez, somebody's got to get open. Beltran does on the high right. Lobs it down low for Norris, and he scoops it up and in. Norris to Beltran for 2. Norris now with 9. The Mustangs to within 7. 4:18 to go in the game. Straight away, Kyle thinks about the 3. Back out to Anderson. Now here's Axel Henry to Myers. On the high right to Shala. Jackson Kyle down low for Henry. Henry all the way leans, banks, and he misses. And the ball is tipped around, and Nick Norris has it, but stolen by Henry. Henry all the way banks, and he misses again. And Norris is fouled by Shala over the back, and Norris to the line for the 1-and-1. Wow. Well, now Nick Norris has got to make the front end. The 8th-team foul with an even 4 minutes to go in the game. Engineering and consulting services for all of your projects at Western Engineering Consultants. Strong commitment to their clients' needs sets them apart. Get your project started the right way. Western Engineering Consultants. Big free throw here coming up for Nick Norris. He can make it a 6-point game. He bends, he spins, he shoots. And in and out. Rebound to Marquez. He had it momentarily, gets it back, and he puts it up and he misses. Rebound, Norris scoops it up and in. Oh, Norris to the rack and scored. Mustangs to within 5. 59-54. 3:45 to go in the game. Cross-court pass, nearly stolen by Ortega, and then he pokes it out of bounds. Boy, Sterling is getting tight here. The Mustangs trailed by 18 early in this half, and they're now down by 5 with 3:39 to go. Kyle throws it into the backcourt to Anderson, hands it off to Henry. Yeah, this Fort Morgan team is certainly much improved from a year ago. Tucker Meyer straight away, hands it off, and the ball is off of Kyle, but he chases it down in front of the Sterling bench. Jackson Kyle on the high left to Myers. Myers against Norris in the corner for Henry. Can't take the 3. Dribbles. Wants to pull up. Back out to Anderson. Right wing 3. Good. Dylan Anderson nails another 3. Right over Nick Beltran. 12 points in the game for Anderson. 62-54. 3:05 to go. On the high right, Marquez straight away. Right corner for Beltran. Bounce pass down low for Norris. He turns. He hooks. And it's an air ball. Maybe partially blocked. Dylan Anderson has the basketball. The Mustangs have worked so hard to get back into the game. They might have run out of gas here. Under 3 minutes to go. We've got 2:49 to be exact, and nearly a steal there for Caden Edson. No, a timeout instead before the steal called by the Sterling Tigers with 2:47 to go. They're up 62-54, but Dylan Anderson just nailed a huge triple. And that was with a hand in his face. But that's what big-time teams do. Mr. D's Ace Home Center is a proud supporter of all the area athletes. They'll serve you with all your home, farm, and ranch supplies in Sterling, Brush, and Fort Morgan. Mr. D's Ace Home Center. And again, many of these matchups have been non-competitive for Fort Morgan in recent years. The closest they came during this 5-game losing streak was in 2014 when they lost 67-58. They're down now 62-54. They've been down the entire game. It was a 50-32 game at one point. And then Fort Morgan went on a 22-9 run. We'll reset the lineup for the Mustangs over the final 2:47. First for Sterling, Brock Shala, Dylan Anderson, who's been red hot in the second half, Axel Henry, Jackson Kyle, and Tucker Myers. For the Mustangs, Caden Edson, Nick Norris, Nick Beltran, Fernando Marquez, and Jacob Ortega. That's certainly their most potent offensive lineup, but they've got to get it done defensively as well. Kyle to throw it in. Jackson Kyle lobs it backcourt for Shala. Let's see if Sterling takes some air out of the basketball. Shala against Edson. Hands it off to Anderson. Boy, it looked like an illegal screen. No whistle there. Henry with the basketball, hands it back out to Myers against Norris. They're going to swing it back out here to Anderson. Anderson picks up his dribble, and then the ball is poked by Beltran off the right leg of Anderson out of bounds. Sterling turns it over. Nice defensive play. Fort Morgan needs to score in this possession. Beltran will call out the play, crossing the timeline with 2:24 to go. Beltran on the high right. Between the legs, Beltran at the top for Marquez. Wide open three is blocked. Blocked by Brock Shala into the hands of Jackson Kyle. Man, he came out of nowhere. Looked like Marquez had a seam. Here's Axel Henry over to Anderson. Left baseline, and he's fouled by Beltran. That'll be the 15th foul. Beltran commits his first. That was probably a good foul because he was beaten along the left baseline. And Jackson Langford is going to be checking in here. And Langford is in for Nick Norris. Well, they lose a little bit of size, but Jackson, by the way, played a great JV game. Here's the lob into Anderson against Beltran. Right side for Henry. 2 minutes to go in the game. Sterling leads by 8 against Marquez. Henry picks up the dribble, looking for some help. Cross-court pass is taken away by Anderson. Anderson then nearly stripped by Beltran. The ball is loose, and it's out of bounds. It's off Fort Morgan. Boy, the Mustangs playing some smothering defense, almost coming up with another steal. But with 1:50 to go in the game, it's still a 62-54 Sterling lead. Mustangs might have to foul at some point. Shala, three-quarters court to throw it in the backcourt to Henry. Henry against Marquez. Henry with a left-handed dribble foul. Marquez, that's a touch foul, 16 foul. Marquez commits his third personal. See what over a century of customer service can do for you at High Plains Bank in Wiggins, offering you a variety of banking needs, including agriculture and personal loans. High Plains Bank in Wiggins. At midcourt, Jackson Kyle to trigger it in. Kyle looking, still looking. Lobs it backcourt for Anderson, picked up by Beltran. He's going to hand it off still in the backcourt to Kyle, guarded by Ortega. 1:39 to go, stripped by Marquez. And then Kyle tries to save it and cannot. He threw it out of bounds behind his back. Turnover by Sterling. Only their 10th of the game. The Mustangs have got 15. And Caden Edson to trigger it in. Fort Morgan with a three can draw to within 5 again. It was Dylan Anderson's three that made it an 8-point game. Nick Beltran calling out the play and a timeout called by Fort Morgan with 1:32 to go. It's a 1-minute break. Sterling 62, Fort Morgan 54 on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Big possession for Fort Morgan, down by 8 with 92 seconds to go in the game. Ortega throws it in to Beltran. He crosses midcourt. Beltran at the top against Dylan Anderson. Fakes the three, cross court to Marquez. Marquez against Shala, gets a pick from Norris. Entry pass is intercepted. It's intercepted by Kyle, and Sterling's not going to run whatsoever. And now they do, and Shala misses. Rebound to Kyle, back out to Shala. Left wing three, Anderson, yes. He just put it away. Anderson just put the game away there with that three. They're up by 11, 1:05 to go. Beltran the other way in the right corner for Marquez. Fouled by Shala. That's an unnecessary foul by Shala. I don't know why he's doing that. Up by 11. He's played a brilliant, brilliant game tonight. He has scored 25 points. That might be the only mistake he's made. Shala with his second foul. He puts Fort Morgan on the line. That'll be the 19th foul. And Langford is in for Norris. Fernando Marquez has been held scoreless in the quarter. He has 17 in the game. He missed a free throw earlier in this quarter. Got to make this one to earn the second. Only the 19th foul. Double bonus comes at 10 fouls. Free throw is in. Fernando now with 18. Ortega with 17 in the game for Fort Morgan. Nick Norris with 11, so 3 in double figures. Second free throw is up and around and no good. And the ball is loose. It's picked up by Anderson. Mustangs might have to foul now, and they do. 17 foul. That's going to be on Edson. 65, 55, 59.4 seconds to go. And the one thing the Mustangs can do is fire up threes and make them. And they've got Ortega's had a huge night with 5 threes. Fernando Marquez is a couple. Nick Beltran has nailed threes in each of the first 3 games, but none tonight. Axel Henry to the line. Front end of the 1-and-1, and the free throw is off to the right. And the rebound into the hands of Nick Norris. Now the Mustangs have got to score. Here is Edson, right corner, Ortega. Fakes the three, steps to his left, takes the three, makes the three! Ortega now at 20. timeout, Fort Morgan. 65-58. This might be the best shooting night Jacob has had in his basketball career. 6 3-pointers. Yeah, last year he was not as even close to proficient. In fact, coming into this game, even off the last game when he hit the game-winning 3 against Eaton, he was only 2 out of 7 in that game. But 6 triples tonight. I'm guessing he's only missed 2 or 3 threes. He's got to be shooting close to 70% on those 3-pointers. So a banner night for Ortega. Well, the Mustangs down by 7, 48.8 seconds to go. If Sterling wins this game, they're going to remember the battle that Fort Morgan gave them. Again, same lineup out there for Fort Morgan. Although Norris is out, Langford is in. Norris will come in on the offensive end. Shala to throw it in, backcourt pressure being applied. Baseball pass is going to be taken by Jackson Kyle, and he'll lay it up, and a foul as Ortega commits it. And he missed it, but Kyle to the line. It's a good foul by Jacob, a good hard foul. Not allowing Kyle to score. And Jackson Kyle has got 5 points in the game to the stripe. Jacob with 3 fouls. 46.3 to go. Maybe at least one miss. You miss one and you make another 3, and you can get to within 5. Kyle's free throw is in the air. That's perfect. Jackson Kyle scores. Nick Norris back in for Jackson Langford. Norris has 3 fouls, and that's the reason he's been taken out on the defensive end. So he doesn't get to that 4th foul. 66-58 Sterling. 46.3 to go. Second free throw by the sophomore Kyle is up, and that's in. 67-58. Here's Nick Beltran into the front court on the high right. Beltran will pull up straight away 3, and it's an air ball, and he's had an off night shooting. Beltran's had really a tough night shooting, only 2 out of 7, and not even close on that one. And Langford in for Norris. Shala to throw it in. In the backcourt to Henry. Mustangs are going to have to foul, and they do. And that foul is committed by Ortega, his 4th. Yeah, that might be it. But Anderson hitting that 3 probably put it away there. And to the stripe is Axel Henry. He just missed a second ago, and it's only the 19th foul. Henry with a 1-and-1. Yeah, it's doubtful he's going to miss 2 in a row. He's just too good. He spins, he shoots the free throw, and that's in. Sterling back up by 10. The Mustangs did draw to within 5 at 59-54. Well, at this point, you got to find either Marquez or Ortega for a 3. They're the 2 hot shooters. Second free throw by Henry is up, and he back-rimmed it, but the ball is rebounded by Anderson. And they're going to have to foul again, and Sterling just working the ball around. And Ortega could not foul, and now Marquez fouls Henry. Well, it's a big rebound. That might be the story of the night. That might be the story of the night, the offensive rebounds. So Henry back to the stripe, double bonus, and now we're down to 25.1 seconds to go. So Sterling has got this game secure. Again, Fort Morgan on the offensive end. They had that one slump in the first half. Free throw is in. 69-58. Second free throw upcoming for Axel Henry. That's up, and that's good. And Norris will roll it in to Beltran. Got to find the hot man. Beltran at the top of the basketball. Swings it left side, Ortega. Dribbles to his right. Now to Beltran, right of the lane. Pulls up 15-footer. Yes, Nick Beltran from the free throw line. He's got 6 points in the game, but Fort Morgan's down by 10 and fouls with 10.1 seconds to go. And that foul on Caden Edson, that's his second. 2 free throws here for Jackson Kyle. Kyle's got 7 points in the game. Well, Fort Morgan did compete. I mean, they could have been blown out of this gym down by 18 in the third. But they have competed. They're going to lose this game, and the free throw by Kyle is in the air, and that's in. Sterling in the quarter is 6 out of 8 from the line. 8 out of 10 in the half. 71-60. Second free throw for Jackson Kyle is in the air. That's good. 72-60. Fort Morgan with one more possession. It's going to be bounced into Fernando Marquez with 9, with 8. Marquez all the way will lay it up, partially blocked, and he's fouled. This will be the 4th consecutive game as the foul was committed by Jackson Kyle. As long as Marquez hits one free throw that the Mustangs, and Kyle's fouled out, by the way, with 9 points, that Fort Morgan has exceeded 60 points. They only did that 3 times all of last season. Marquez was held in check in the fourth quarter, only 1 point in the quarter. Free throw is up, and that's around and good. 72-61. And if you're Fort Morgan, do not foul here as soon as Sterling gets the ball. There's no reason to foul. The game is already over. Second free throw for Marquez is in the air, and that's in and out. And Norris goes for the rebound, kicks it back out towards Beltran. Long three, and that's an air ball, but it's put up and in at the buzzer by Edson. That should count. Yep, 72-63. Edson scores his first points of the game. And Sterling wins tonight in Fort Morgan. Let's take a 2-minute break. Sterling 72, Fort Morgan 63 on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network.